Hello, ladies and Germans. How you all doing? This is Con Over coming to you with another Company of Heroes 1v1. Company of Heroes 2, mind you. Up here in the north, we have playing the Wehrmacht forces building his infantry company right about now. It is the Blue Trunk forces of G period dot. I think we'll just call him dot. Maybe it's the G, I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of joke, I'm not getting it, but it's okay. It's cool. And down here in the southeast, wearing the red trunks, playing as those red-blooded Americans, this is Stormless. Stormless we have seen before, of course he is definitely part of the General's Gentleman kind of big group over there, so it's nice to have him back on the channel. Welcome back, Stormless. We are going to see that Dot is opening up with himself, opening up with the sniper. That's what I was trying to say there. Whew. I tell you folks, it's been a long week already when you're looking at it like, man, I have a glass of wine right in front of me and I am casting. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we're going to go with it. Stormless is over here on Famenville Approach. He is diving deep to pick up this strategic point early over here. He's going to be fighting off these Pios, not easily, mind you, but those M1A1 carbines should be okay to at least frustrate the German advance. And adding in riflemen as well to kind of come, maybe pick up the PP. Oh, no, never mind. They're going to go out and just harass as much as possible. Now, I'm not going to say that Stormless is the be-all end. Also, sorry, Stormless, if you're watching this. But let's remember that on something to always be learning about in these maps is the correct order to really kind of cap positions. And some of it definitely does depend on your strategy. But some of it also really depends on how the most ideal capture path is for these particular factions on each particular map. I can confess that I know those pretty well, and those Americans just kind of dove down as one and synchronized diving team. The last guy apparently was not impressed. Did not impress the German judge. He got caught by some fire right there. See Storm was getting pushed away immediately. Before we get too much farther, yes, that HMG is out and about, and yes, those rear echelons are coming in sort of just barely to kind of flank it ever so slightly. They take a quick look at commanders. So Dot is bringing to the fray Lightning War, Elite Troops, and Mobile Defense. Stormless, by his own particular decision, is bringing along Airborne Company, Heavy Cav, and TAC Support. So a lot more expected particular individuals out of Stormless as opposed to Dot. But G-Dot, I think, still has an interesting selection of commanders on the field. Now, I feel kind of bad for these riflemen. They're going to get wrecked in about 3 seconds. Diving around to the side of the house, trying to get some lines of sight on those machine guns. As soon as that thing actually repositions, these riflemen are going to have to book it out of there. I'm surprised it hasn't repositioned already. It's still aiming at the front of the house. Are these guys on a manual? Okay, well, they're not on manual. There they are. They're getting pushed back right about now, but it's more a function of the sniper and these grenadiers than the actual machine gun position itself. 475 to 500. We do see grenadiers moving on the central VP as the rear echelons moving up to the north to pick up the third VP, continue the draining coming out of the German forces. And these grens are shifting forwards. We are going to see Stormless playing that American meta, the trip rifleman into a mortar. It'd be interesting to see if G-Dot can kind of play his way out of that. Been seeing a lot of that meta recently from the American players. I guess that's why they call it a meta. But I think Famenville Approach is definitely one. I dropped a game recently in Famenville Approach to this meta. I was OKW, so it'll be just interesting to see whether or not the Wehrmacht player handles it any differently than I would have. The sniper early on is definitely a good call, and you see the sniper still kind of shifting around. And with the MG in this house right here, it is going to stymie American expansion, at least for the immediate short term, because they can't get close enough to actually take the strategic point without getting suppressed. So maybe that's the big play, and at least initially against this kind of American aggression. You see right now, that thing not being capped cuts off American munitions to the south. It doesn't cut off the American fuel to the north, but that's okay. Now, the Americans are also going to be starting to call in their captains. Oh, wow, no, never mind, excuse me, the lieutenant. I don't play Americans as much as I should. I'm going to call in the lieutenant, and that might be a good idea, considering the kind of fire disparity going on the map. Coming with a BAR is definitely much more ideal than things are currently for the Americans. Medic bunker going now for G-Dot. He's also going to tech out the battle phase 1. So the Germans are definitely in a good position, if a little bit under strength, in terms of just raw troop size. Okay, so the bunker's been completed. The MG's been pushed back by the mortar, which is a great thing for the Americans. Now, a little bit unfortunate for the Germans is that mortar does allow smoke rush to go out and definitely cuts away the efficiency of the machine gun. Not going to be 100% terrible necessarily, but it's going to definitely set back any kind of pushback on this area. As you see that Stormless's income has jumped quite a bit. Actually, about doubled, I should think. Lichte Mechanized Company has been called in, Lichte, rather, excuse me. They're calling it Lichte for such a long time. Lichte Mechanized Company has been completed. So look to have a 2-2-2 within the next minute or so from the Germans, especially once that lieutenant comes prowling around the field. The Germans are going to know that his light vehicles are in a much better position, even with the BAR on that lieutenant squad. That being said, you can notice right now that the lieutenant is going to give a little bit more flexibility tactically to the American forces than the captain might otherwise. And we see a break from the meta with that already. Not going to be a quick Stuart popping out for the Americans, which is just as lucky for the Germans because they don't have a whole lot on the map to really do anything about them. Now, looking at the Americans, what they actually could bring in M20, not a great idea. I mean, it's good and all that, but not really worth it. On the half track, unless you're looking to have like an American Zis gun, definitely not worth the hassle. 2-2-2 comes onto the field, like I said, in about a minute or so. So he's going to hit the field, and if he can find this mortar team, he's going to put the Germans in a great spot. Not ideal necessarily, because right now the Germans are lagging a little bit in terms of infantry on the field. Every single time you see him coming out and about, you notice that the Americans are able to fight him back rather easily. 2-2-2 does in fact locate the mortar. He's going to push them back. And Stormless is still going to manage to get a trip cap out of this. He's got the lieutenant on the middle VP, using those smoke rounds pretty much on cooldown to establish safe positions for his advancing infantry. So very good adaptation coming out from that. Now where's that sniper though? Sniper is shifting around slowly, kind of waltzing his way through the field. 395 to 500. Stormless has not yet dropped a ticket on this map. Well done to him on that one. G-Dot, though, is not giving up. He's going for a second 2-2-2. And the Americans continue to not actually either tech up or create any kind of anti-tank. And actually, now I think about it, the anti-tank's not going to be that easy. So he's going to go for that 37mm cannon on the AA half-track. With the 2-2-2 on the field, I don't know if... I don't play a 2-2-2 into half-tracks that often, or half-tracks don't get enough play, usually around me. It's be interesting to see whether or not the 2-2-2 can stand up to that kind of firepower. Or if it's like Admiral Akbar, they can't stand up to firepower of that magnitude. Now, Sniper over here is starting to pick on these riflemen a little bit, but he's going to get chased down if he's not a little more careful about things. Manages to fire through the stone wall, takes out a guy, ricochet shot maybe, I don't know. But G-Don gets him barely back into cover before anything else happens. Grenadiers fight the lieutenant to a standstill. You see the lieutenant back off as quickly as humanly possible. And the Sniper, which had been pretty much caught out by these riflemen, gets saved at the last second by the second 2-2-2. Now, in the east, what happened in the American strong point of fuel continues to be so, but it's not going to be that easy. And this mortar is trying to set up in time to loft rounds at that machine gun, and we'll be able to do so. There we go. Machine gun gets out just in time. 2-2-2 was doing exactly what it's supposed to do, though. Harry the American infantry just long enough so that way he can keep things out of supply. Now, unfortunately for that, take a look at Stormless' income. See, his munitions double because of that strategic point. What's the thing I have at 37 mil? 37 mil, I think it is. Yeah, 37 mil. So 50 cal and a 37 mil cannon on that. So 350 to 500 is still Stormless' game. He's still not dropped a ticket, which just continues to baffle me. We're seeing right now a lot of dominance from American players against the Germans, and it's not so much because the Germans are not as strong players. Ooh, here we go. I guess we see it right now. That 37 mil cannon wrecks that 2-2-2. Good gosh. Shredding the front armor on both of them. Takes it one down to 50% health. Ices the other one in about 5 seconds. We are going to see the Sniper go down as well because of that 50 cal. I did not expect this half-track to be this devastating. And right now, Stormless has gotten himself 200 munitions, and he's unlocked weapon racks. So with the rack unlocks, expect to see BARs coming out. And with that, it'd be almost impossible for the Germans to get back into this. I'm trying to think about what they actually could even call in. Take a quick look up at that Lithium Mechanized Company. Yeah, no, he's not going to call in a half-track. Pack's not going to do diddly squat other than to take out the half-track, the American half-track, that is. So maybe we're going to see the death happening right there. Another round comes in, there goes the half-track, but BAR is still on the field, anti-tank grenades, still should be more than enough to force back the 222 at min, and could be even more devastating from there. We are going to see the Germans attempt to push and take one of these strategic points over here to the north, cut the bleeding just a wee bit. Well, BARs are starting to come out here, and Stormless has decided to tech into his airborne company. With that, he's dropping the 57 mil anti-tank gun. Where did that go? Not to the south. Where'd that thing go? Back in base? There it is. It's back in base. So he's right on top of his own stuff. And he's got his ammo actually seemed to be out in a very, very advanced position. Oh no, I don't know why, but that's strange. I think I saw healing points over to the west. Oh well. But 288 to 500. G-Dot is still confused. Not sure what to do. It's an opportunity to go and make for himself some P-Grens. But we remain lost as to how he's going to take this back. Sniper's gone. Machine gun gets wrecked by the mortar. Mortar can't get picked up because the 222 is so afraid of coming forward. So you see one rifleman with a Zook, and the BARs are still there. Vehicle comes to the north. Is there going to be an anti-tank grenade? No, there's not. But these riflemen are going to make this their trip cap yet again, or at least for a few seconds. Germans are desperate to kind of do something about this. They might lose this Pioneer squad on retreat. Yep, there they go.
We are losing Soldaten.
And it doesn't matter what color your uniform, you just know you don't want to be a German right now. Yowza. The North are going to see this rifleman chase off this 222, kind of almost unintentionally. Panzer grenades, throw a grenade in the house, not going to do a whole lot. It's a bundle grenade, though. It does manage to take out that garrison, which is kind of a mixed blessing if you are the Germans right now, because it would have been great to have your machine gun there, but that mortar kind of negates that already. P-Gun has dropped to 50% squad strength, and it doesn't seem like Stormless is really being that aggressive, but he can tech into whatever he wants to, whenever he wants to. He can tech this right about now. I'm actually surprised he's not teching into Major. He doesn't have a lot of armor opportunities open to him, and while the airborne troops and the call-ins are decent, it would be worth teching up for that. We see the Germans threaten to actually push back the lieutenant, finally doing so, 13 minutes and 15 seconds in. It just seems like every single time the Germans take an advantage, the Americans are right there to just pound it away.
Frag grenades now available for action. We just got promoted by order.
And now everybody and their mother's got grenades, so that's going to be a rather unfortunate thing for the Germans. 222 slides forward, but that 57 mil has him in his sights. And is he going to get away just in time? Yes, he is. Second sniper's called onto the field, but I'm not sure if it's a little too late. G-Dot, in my mind, should have teched up a while ago.
That's it, fellas. Knock their fucking block off.
He still hasn't teched up, has he? Oops, wrong one. There we go. Nope, he has not teched up, which means that those light mechanized units are not going to do anything in the long term. 189 to 500. Pushback across the board. Yeah, there's nothing else to be said. Then the Pioneer squad gets popped out to repair that 222. Ain't gonna mean much though. 2-star vet, riflemen are out in the field, and every single kind of infantry for Stormless has some sort of upgrade. Only ones that don't are these rear echelons back here, and I imagine they could be pretty much able to do that whenever they want to. Now, it is kind of weird to note that Stormless is not being as aggressive as he usually is with his infantry, being a little bit slow in the micro. Grenades are going to hurt. There we go. Grenade does go off, and although there's a bazooka over here, which should mean the rifleman should get wrecked by this. Nope. And he's going to get away before anything like that happens. Pigrins in the meantime going to get caught out by the lieutenant. LMGs though, snipers, got this kind of three-way fight. It's not like it's going to be enough though. These BARs again come out of the woodwork, and it just cuts these Germans down without almost out of any kind of real attempt. They are going to decap the north, which is going to be good for them still, but Stormless still controls the overwhelming advantage, and now he's got a major on the field. So the major on the field, what does he have access to? Of course, he's got access to the gun carriage. You got the Jackson, which not really worth anything at the moment, and that Sherman. The Sherman coming onto the field is going to wreck face, and I cannot underscore that enough. 222 slots to the south, looking to help support Grenz, maybe taking up that fuel point. And mortar dropping smoke rounds in the middle part of the field for the Americans. And despite taking the northern VP, the Germans are just not able to capitalize and take something else. They do drop a teller mine in the middle part of the field, so we're kind of interested to see if someone plods his way across that. But Stormless has not seemed to really utilize the main avenues for his attacks. Riflemen to the north are backing up in the face of this kind of wanton assault. Pioneers in the same time, meantime, are coming up against the riflemen and are definitely able to fight these guys to a standstill, but they're outnumbered. They do take down the rifleman squad to just 2 models, but that mortar coming in could change everything. We do see a retreat, though, just in time. Pigrins now run into their own crossfire, going in between a rifleman squad and the lieutenant's bodyguard over there. Sniper over here to the south is going to try to pick on these riflemen. I was going to say grenadiers, but kind of some own team kills, though. No TKing happening in Company of Heroes, at least not in this particular moment. The 222 slides forward and then gets thrust right back away. Bizarrely, the rear echelons still have absolutely no upgrade to them. Not even a hazard removal kit, which I think would be an interesting decision right about now. Usually because you do see Stormless investing in that kind of material.
Down to 100 points.
I get the feeling sometimes it may not just be the opponent. Like, I really do think there's got to be some balance issues that need to be addressed here. Unfortunately, MG42 is not in cover, and it's going to retreat because of it. It just takes too much health damage. MG to the north is there, and it's going to hold down a fair portion of the map, but just not going to be enough either. Yowza.
Only 75 points remaining.
I have never seen this much usage of smoke rounds. I'm just kind of impressed by that. Those things come out like every, what, 15, 20 seconds? The Germans finally are taking back a good portion of the map, but I think this might just be too late. Volley fire from the rear echelons looking to suppress the Grenadiers. Not sure how well that's going to go. 222 dives in. He's going to be able to finally decrew that mortar. Thank God Jehoshaphat and Ganesh for that one. Anti-tank grenade comes in. Is going to damage the engine for that 222, but he chases off the rifleman squad. And we see a German resurgence? Was I wrong? Mortar gets taken back. And Sniper is still on the field, so he could just maybe. And finally, one of the rifleman squads does go down, but a Sherman's going to be coming onto the field pretty quickly. And the rifleman squad dropped down over here because the Pigrins caught in behind. Oh, no, it was the rear echelon squad got in behind the the retreating Americans. Center part of the field now, though. If you are aiming a bazooka, never mind. There's a lieutenant squad behind them. We're good to go. Pioneer's going to try to hang up and hang tough with these rifleman attacks, but with the lieutenant on top of it, and oh no, I was going to say the sniper's going to get even forced away as well, but that machine gun might be enough to save him for redeployment. Pigrins are caught out of cover first of all, and then they get caught on the wrong side of cover for the other side. Lieutenant is going to go and start wrecking them. The BAR causing a fair amount of damage by itself. Now, is a sniper going to be able to start to picking off doing headshots here, or no? Yes, there's one headshot. There's the LMG Grenz on retreat path, so could we see death and destruction? Could the lieutenant go down? No, he just kind of dodges, dips, and ducks all around the gunfire. Panzerfaust is going to go out over here on the Sherman. Not going to give it a damaged engine crit, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. Because he's threatening coming back into this. Machine gun's got to watch out. He's taking rounds from that Sherman, and one more high explosive round or so might even take out the garrison. No, it does not. Get away in time.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
And now, although the rifleman squad has died, this major has picked up a BAR. So the major, which has absolutely no firepower initially, dies. Stormless had this game wrapped up. He had it in a bow. It's 44 to 500 for God's sake. What is happening? In the span of about 2 minutes, Stormless goes and loses, like, conservatively. 4 units? Major, rear echelon, a rifleman squad? Yeah, I think 3 or 4 units pretty quickly. Schumann in the center part of the map is sitting there just in case that Sherman wants to come forward, and for some reason Stormless decides to go, hey, diddle diddle, and forfeits his lieutenant. Yeah, I can't believe the throw either, dude. What the heck? Now the Germans are moving in on 2 points super fly fast. This vehicle crew up into the north, it's really the only thing he's got left. He's got 2 Zook squads of riflemen and 57 mil and a Sherman. G-Don has decided to finally go elite troops doctrine. Of course, you did see the stun grenades getting used once before. And this Sherman, which looked awesome, it looked like it was going to be sealing the deal, now looks like the last stand for Stormless. You can start dropping in paratroopers or airdropping individuals all over the place. That might be what he's got left as an option. And there's Pathfinders coming in, so those guys are kind of interesting. Quick look at what they do. Set up beacon. The accuracy of the paratroopers. I never had an issue really with the paratroopers coming in accurately. Coming in at all and not getting wrecked as soon as they come in, that was a different story. So having that might be a very, very interesting opportunity. Maybe he's looking for that to be a way to kind of hit different parts of the field all at once. These riflemen are going to come over here to the west and going to try to take back this point. It's not going to happen, though. They're going to get pinned in about 3 seconds' time, I should think. So you see another rifleman squad getting wrecked up here to the north, taking grenade fire. Heard them cry out a couple seconds before. Grenadiers. Yep, rifle grenade. Only 1 model left on that unit. And this is by God's own grace. The Sherman has come in just in time to save the rifleman squad. It's like that first mission of the campaign, you know, you're running up with all of the, of the Company of Heroes 1 campaign. See about 2 squads, a rifleman squad and a engineer squad, getting attacked by like 20 or 30 German infantry, and you jet forward with the Shermans. I don't know, for me anyway, that's how it kind of seems. 23:40 into this game, it's 42 to 466, and Stormless really could just hang back and throw an effective counter push together, but he's not doing so, unfortunately. He's going to call in a howitzer cartridge, but what G-Dot's doing is going to wait until that Tiger Ace is ready. And that thing has got more than enough manpower to support it. Every unit of infantry on the field for the Germans is full strength.
75mm gun carrier ready.
Never mind, this engineer squad, Pyro squad might put me to shame. He does pick up a BAR though. Pathfinders are like, yo bro, I got this. Oh, never mind. You think you got me? That's cool. Bizarre, perhaps, but these riflemen are not being accosted for this. Sherman has shifted forward as well to kind of put some fire on these Grens. But this thing is ready to come in whenever and wherever G-Dot wants that. He is not teched up, of course, at all. He's not even going to Tech 2, which I think is a massive waste considering how much fuel he's got. He's floating an absolute metric amount, just huge, huge amount. Interestingly, so the P-Grens have a Shrek and a BAR. So they're like the squad from hell as far as the Americans are concerned. 42 to 426, this machine gun sniper combo is really going to hurt. And intelligently they do back away. This howitzer cartridge manages to find that shoe mine by accident, throws down a couple of rounds in the middle part of the map. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. But the Tiger Ace has been called in. That thing is going to be more than enough to take everybody out by himself. First round only takes out one rifleman, so we can already tell he's an underperforming guy. Does find the Sherman though, and the slaughter begins. That Sherman I don't think has even shifted over to AP rounds until just about now. Okay, because AP rounds finally on. But the ammo goes down, and the Tiger Ace is there just kind of like laughing hysterically. Now, though the 57 mil is going to force it back for a couple of seconds, and Stormless kind of acknowledges like, oopsies, big error there. So sync error detected. That means I think Stormless has tapped out. He is gone. It's over, folks. 26 minutes in a stunning turnaround, G-Dot takes out a Stormless. And I'm a little surprised by that big guy. Big throws happening right about the 20-minute mark. Nevertheless, that's going to be it for me on this particular game. It looks like that's going to be it for Stormless as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. You know, remember every now and again, if you're watching a video, it doesn't always end the way you think it will. Definitely surprises out there, trust me. That's going to be it for me. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have a game you want me to check out, email me. Link's always in the description. And if you have, you know, any kind of play strat or a thing you're kind of curious about, hit me up at the same time too. This is Con Ulrich signing off. Take it easy, everybody.